This painting's called London High. It's part of a series of paintings which feature these elements: the young man, the high wire, the city, and that layer swirling round about him of money. Probably quite an odd combination. It would maybe make you wonder what's going on, what's the artist trying to say here. The idea behind them came to me many years ago when I first started working with some guys down in London. When I first left teaching and I became a full-time painter, I was doing quite a lot of work in London and working with these guys, and I watched the lives that they led, and I thought to myself, this is what it is. It's a balancing act. Every day they're walking that line. Confidence, the ability to walk that line, all this opportunity around about them. But all it would take is one slip and it's all gone. The figure himself is intended to be fairly anonymous. It happens to be my son Ryan. But he's intended to be quite a universal figure. And although in this case the background is London, I've made paintings which have New York as the backdrop, have Toronto as the backdrop, and obviously have Glasgow as the backdrop. The message is essentially the same, but it's been fascinating. If you change the currency and you change the cityscape, the whole feel of the painting changes massively. There was another reason initially that I decided to make these paintings. I hear quite often in terms of people describing my work, well, they'll talk about it as being almost photographic. And actually, sometimes people don't really mean that in a very complimentary way. I suppose the argument is, well, why would you bother to make something, go to all the bother to make something which is realistic, which looks photographic, when you could simply take a photograph? So what I decided to do in this particular painting was to challenge that idea. And it maybe surprise you to hear that not all of this is painted. What you have in this painting are painted areas and actual photographic elements. We have the city, we have the figure, and we have the money. And the money is collage. The money basically is applied over the painting as a last layer. But you have to ask yourself, as you're looking at this painting, which is the most photographic? Is it the money? Or is it the city? Or is it perhaps that area of painting there or there? So this idea of photographic in painting, as soon as you begin to examine it carefully, it begins to break down. Because the truth is that the eye is actually really quite easily deceived. I love making these pieces. They're very exciting paintings to make. They're very different from the other paintings that I make. And in actual fact, if I've been working hard, working on portraits, I can come to this different area of the studio and I can work on these things, and it's a completely different set of problems. And I actually find that these actually are quite uplifting. I think it's fair to say that this painting, these types of paintings, they're pretty amazing. This combination of elements, the complexity of the piece, leaves people quite astonished. I plan to bring one of these out with me to the exhibition in Easterhouse, so you'll get a chance to see one in the flesh. I would be very interested to know what you think the narrative here is. That's possibly something that you could have a think about, and we can have a chat about that when I see you at the start of December.